And of course, you know Chin as well.
Well, okay, thank you. And as Jim has introduced us about your API and your company's program, so today we would like to can you make the introduction about your company and your API program so that we can see are there any collaborative activities between us? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Heng, for accepting the meeting today. So I think the agenda today we will have the two parts. The first part, Mr. Nick, the CEO and the founder of the LC, will present about the product, and after that we can discuss more and Q&A with the technology about of the LC and the University of Industry Hanoi. Yeah, the first part, please, Mr. Nick, you can begin with your presentation.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Chin. So, okay, are you able to see my screen here?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So a brief background about our company first. As you know, we're called Language Confidence, and we're an AI-first education company. And our whole mandate is to automate the teaching and testing of spoken English using artificial intelligence. So my background is I'm actually a qualified English teacher, and what I wanted to do was use technology to automate what I could do in the classroom and with students. So that is listen to them speak or read a sentence aloud and be able to give them real-time feedback for tangible scoring, but also improvements on how to correct their spoken English. So we're a venture capital funded company and we have a global customer base, although we are making a lot of efforts and inroads into the Vietnamese market. Chin is our first member of the local team, and I recently spent nearly a month myself in the Vietnamese market, so I'm very confident that there's a lot happening in that space. So what we're running through today is we have two products that we offer. The first one is a scripted speech assessment API, and the second one is an unscripted speech assessment API. And feel free, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to just jump in and ask me as well. So the first product is a scripted, so we know what the student is trying to say. It's a scripted assessment of a student's pronunciation, and this is available as an API or as a plugin. So we don't do any front end, we don't do content, we just provide the APIs as a service. Now, Oxford Dictionaries or Oxford University Press have actually partnered with us for this product, and it's actually a co-branded product. So we actually are able to offer our customers co-branding that they can use on their customer-facing platforms. So you can use a series of pre-agreed marketing collateral from Oxford University Press or the Oxford Dictionaries team that is actually a partnership that they have with Language Confidence. Now, the key points of this product is an AI-powered automated pronunciation assessment for scripted responses. So it's a read aloud or repeat the sentence scenario. Now, the results are generally delivered in 1 to 2 seconds, so it's very quick, but sometimes it can take a few more seconds if the student's speaking for quite a long time. Now, we do have a US and a UK, so a British and American accented version available. So this uses all the words from the Oxford Dictionary, the UK and the US versions. So we're able to assess a student on a short paragraph, a sentence, or even an individual word on their pronunciation. We're able to, so this AI, everything that we design, all of our products are based on my time in the classroom as a teacher. So we base our development on how will a teacher assess a student and give feedback. So we're able to give a student feedback on the omissions and substitutions that they make, so the sounds that they miss and the sounds that they replace. And we know that, really importantly, it does increase engagement, it does increase usage, and even more importantly, the most important one here is it actually really does increase the learning rate of students. We did a small-scale study with a customer from South Korea, And what we found is that 75% of students showed a tangible scoring increase of 15% in the first 3 months of using the product. So the students, they like using it, they continue to use it, and they actually learn from it too. So it's really important and really engaging. So this product is available via an API on its own, or we also do have a Moodle plugin. So if you use the Moodle LMS, we can actually integrate straight into that LMS and create a custom quiz type. And under development of this for this product and where we're going in the future is being able to give students feedback and scoring on their reading fluency, on their intonation or their prosody, and also give feedback on corrective and feedback and personalised learning. So again, going back to that ethos of being in the classroom, here was your mistake, here's the score that you scored, here's a correct example, and then here's some more content to go and practice it. So exactly as I would do in that face-to-face classroom scenario. So we have customers all around the world, and as I said, we're really investing in the Vietnamese market at the moment. And sure you know Hoc Mai or Galaxy Education, so they're an existing customer of ours. We have a few more to announce in the coming months as well. But we have our customers in all the different segments, from primary to secondary, tertiary, and test prep. So we cover all the different segments with the same API. And what we've got here is some of our existing customers and how they use our API and display it differently to their end users. So this is E2 English. So this is a company, this is one of our first customers. And they have a test prep and a tertiary English platform for older learners, so similar age group to university students. And you can see here, this is their consonant cluster practice. They play the audio for the student records their attempt, and then this is how they choose to display the result. This is one of another customer of ours in Vietnam. So this is V Kids. Obviously, this is younger learners, so they've made the interface a bit more fun and engaging for students. And they give the students a gold star rating instead of just the scoring. So the student gets a gold star rating to make it a bit more fun and engaging. And then this is Touchstone. So this is one of our customers in India. So this is a test prep platform. So you can see here the student chooses their content, they play the correct example, and then they speak their attempt and they receive the feedback. So you can see each of our customers displays this a little bit differently, and they're using the API. Now with the Moodle plugin, if you're using Moodle as an LMS, you do have to set it up a set way, so it is set up as a quiz type inside the Moodle LMS. So that's the summary of the first product. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? If there's no questions, I'll move on into the unscripted speech assessment API. So this API is different from the first one in two main ways. The first way is that it is assessing more than just pronunciation. It's assessing pronunciation, fluency, grammar, and lexical resource. The second way is that it is unscripted. With the first API, we know what the student is trying to say. We have a sentence or a word that we're asking them to read out. But for this one, we're asking the student an open-ended question and we're giving them feedback on these different metrics. And it's quite simple. You send us the audio from your student's recording and we send you back the results. And again, this is an API, or we do have a Moodle plugin for this as well. So the summary for this product, again, it's AI-powered automated speech assessment for unscripted. It generates detailed feedback on 4 different metrics, plus an overall IELTS band score. And the results are delivered as soon as 5 seconds, and the student can deliver up to 120 seconds of speech. And we also have the 2 accents, the Oxford UK and the Oxford US accents as well. And what we're planning for the future is also this version that we brought out correlates to the IELTS framework and the IELTS rubric. But under development, the plan for coming next year is the parallel frameworks, so PT, TOEIC, TOEFL, etc., and also some corrective feedback. So at the moment, this product is our IELTS beta product. And this is how it looks. This is the output that we get from the student from an unscripted response. So we ask the student an open-ended question and we generate this response so we know where the student is going wrong, where they can improve. And we also have an estimated overall IELTS band score at the moment. Now, our next version of this, which we will come next year, is not only the IELTS band score, but also the corrective feedback as well. So again, going back to that time in the classroom, it's not just an assessment, we're building a teaching element of that as well. So next year we'll be able to deliver, here's your scores, here's your IELTS feedback, and then here's how to fix it, and here's how to improve on your spoken English, your unscripted spoken English. Now, before I move on to a demonstration, does anyone have any questions on that one? All right, I'll jump into a demonstration. So here we have our demonstration. And now, Tim, do you think I should just, in the interest of time, should we just do the IELTS one, or would you like to do pronunciation as well? Chin?
Yes.
Would you like to demonstrate both products or just the IELTS product?
So it means that you will demo two, pronunciation product and the IELTS assessment too?
Yeah, which one's more important for the university? Perhaps the IELTS product?
I think the both. You can demo both for the university. Yeah.
Cool, wonderful. All right, so you can see here we have our pronunciation scripted product. And when we click on that demonstration, here in the demonstration we have different levels of difficulty. So using the Oxford dictionaries for each accent, we have over 250,000 words that are listed in that dictionary. So it's quite a breadth of content that we're able to cover. But for the sake of the demo, I'll simply start the demo and with a beginner example, so it's nice and easy. So here in our example, you can choose your different accents, and here we're asking the student to read the sentence, "The bat went into the house." So I'll read this with quite a good example, a good attempt, and we'll see the results. The bat went into the house. So you can see overall, 97% as you would expect for a native speaker. And then this one, what I'll do is I'll make an intentional pronunciation mistake, and then we'll be able to see the results displayed to the user for where they're going wrong. The log ran outside. So as you can see, I said the wrong sound at the start of this word. And you can see it's able to display those results to me in real time, so very, very quickly. Now, as I mentioned, the next step is the corrective feedback, but the product at the moment is an assessment of an English pronunciation. So that's the demonstration, the quick demonstration of the first product. And then the second product is our unscripted version, our IELTS Beta API. So if I go back here to the IELTS Beta, and add my code here. You can see here we're asking the student an unscripted, very basic IELTS style academic question. So the question here is, what do you study? So again, what I'll do is I'll answer this question well, and I'll give a good result that we would expect to score quite highly in my IELTS band score. So let's give it a go. So I studied a Bachelor of Business Management with a major in International Business and Business Economics at the University of Queensland. I also studied TESOL for a year and Information Technology and Coding for 1 year as well. So as you can see, that's an unscripted response. So I just had the question as a prompt, and I give back a response. You can see here I score obviously over above an IELTS 7. So as you would expect for a native speaker, to be quite a good response. And you can see we do give feedback for all of the different band scores, so all the different metrics that make up the IELTS speaking result. Fluency, coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation as well. So if I go to the next question, what I'll do for this question is I'll give quite a basic response. I'll give still in my native accents and my native pronunciation, so my pronunciation will be high. But what I'll do is I'll give a struggle in some of the other areas, and you can see those highlighted inside those different band scores. So we can really give the student that feedback for where they can improve. I studied that in Brisbane and Beijing. You can see still a native speaker pronunciation, so my pronunciation is quite high, but obviously my fluency and my lexical resource were quite low, so they scored quite low as well, and my overall band score dropped as well, as you would expect. So with this, we're able to give the student feedback and say your fluency and your lexical resource or your vocabulary are lacking. So that's how we're able to give that in a real time to the student and give that valuable information. If you would like to score an IELTS band score 6.5 to study undergraduate overseas, or a 7.5 if you want to study a master's or a postgraduate, we're able to give that feedback to the student in real time and plug this into your existing website or learning management system so that your students can have this functionality. All right, I'm sure there's some questions on the other side. Is there anything that you'd like us to answer? I know that we maybe have some technical questions as well, but in terms of the product or the use cases, or if there's anything you'd like me to go over, please feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you. Next, thì Hạnh mình mới kết thúc xong cái phần trình bày của bên anh Nick về product. Xong đó thì không biết là bên trường mình sẽ có những câu hỏi gì cho bên phía em ạ. Để mời chị Hạnh.
Thank you so much for your presentation, and we feel that it's very interesting, how to say, primary product, and it would support us a lot in the speaking test and speaking practice for the students. But we would like to have some questions. Firstly, as you have illustrated your product, we think about that. In our case, our students will record their speaking part, and then we will upload it on the YouTube or somewhere else. And the teachers will download the CD from that, and then we can mark the score for the students. So if we can plug in the API into our LMS system, that would be the difference from your demonstration. As the demonstration is, we have already the sentence or the part. But now that is the speaking part from the students. So would it be okay for plugging like this?
Yeah, so my first question there is, what is the current LMS that you're using? Is it a pre-existing one like Moodle? Is it a custom-built one?
It's a customized. It is customized for our internal system. We use our own website for us, and then the students will upload their speaking part on that.
Okay, and Swan, if that's I'll probably throw this question over to you, Swan, and back, but if that's a custom-built LMS, then integration actually, it should be quite straightforward once we capture the audio, right?
Yeah, so it would just be up to your technical team to integrate with our API, right? But if you have your own some LMS, that's 100% feasible.
Actually, after hearing your presentation, and we think of our own system and what we are doing, if like your program can be embedded in our LMS system, that would save the teacher a lot of time mocking students speaking online. And then actually it's not a direct recording system, but at the moment students still need to record their own video. Actually we are doing video, because we need to see that it is our own student face and voices. So actually we require them to do the video, and then they can use the Google Drive or YouTube, and then just give us the link. We use the link to open the file, and then we mark the their speech manually. So if we can do this like give mark to student automatically, like what you have done is to save the teacher a lot of time. And like for example, in one semester, we have 8 units, so students need to do 8 recording like that. But because in our class there are about 35 students, so we cannot mark all the speaking speech. So we just randomly choose 2 or 3 speech for each student, not all. Out of 8, we just do 2 or 3 marking for each student, each semester.
And do you mind me asking how many students run through this and complete this homework each semester?
Nearly 30,000.
30,000 students.
It's a lot of homework.
Yeah, and I think in the future maybe all students, 32,000 students. Now some students we are currently run about mostly we run blended learning system. At the moment there are still some subjects which are not blended ones, so basically the teacher still do offline class. So for this subject we don't have that, but that is not much, only about 2,000. So maybe in the future we move on to blended, so about 32,000. Big deal, right?
Yeah. I think just in terms of, I think the use case of optimizing the teacher time, because if you run through our demonstration, at the end of the activity, we actually have a small report, and then the report focuses on the sounds where the student is struggling the most. So what we might do is work with you to set up something similar so that your teachers can get the report, see where their students are struggling the most, and use their teaching time optimally or to find students that are struggling the most.
And we noted that the 30,000 we are doing, we told you are mostly non-English major students. So the English level is about A2 or B1 at the moment. Not very good one, but like their speed is slow and their language is very simple, something like that. But I just tell you that this, even if at the moment our system cannot be embedded in our system, maybe it's worthwhile investing to our system, right? A big deal, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that was my next question from my end is it sounds like the value of our product is very clear for your students and your teachers as well, to save your teachers marking and giving you good feedback.
And we do hope that it's not only be helpful for teacher in reducing the workload, but also will be helpful for students, so that they can know what is okay, what is not okay, and what they need to improve.
Yeah, wonderful. Chin, in terms of what would you recommend, Chin, for next steps? How do we progress the conversation?
Cái câu hỏi của bên phía chị là bây giờ bên phía kỹ thuật đó đúng không chị Hạnh, thì họ sẽ connect như thế nào vào cái hệ thống của mình, đúng không? Theo em hiểu là như vậy hay sao? Dạ.
Cái câu hỏi thứ nhất là có cái hệ thống bên đấy có match được vào bên chị không, có nhúng vào bên chị được không, và để chứng nhận là chị đang dùng. Thực ra thì bây giờ bên chị là đang yêu cầu sinh viên record trên YouTube và gửi link cho giáo viên trên hệ thống đấy, và giáo viên bấm vào đấy xem. Nhưng nếu mà hệ thống bên em mà nhúng vào mà lại cho phép record trực tiếp thì cũng rất là tốt. Hoặc là như
dạ rồi em hiểu rồi.
record trực tiếp và chấm. Nhưng cái phần chấm là cái phần mà giáo viên bên chị đang mất rất nhiều thời gian và không chấm hết được.
Dạ.
8 sinh viên, 8 bài một học kỳ, một lớp có 35 sinh viên là khoảng 250 recording một học kỳ. Một lớp mà giáo viên có thể cho 3-4-5 lớp thì lên đến 1.000 recording mà chị không bao giờ chấm được hết, thì số đấy một giáo viên em sẽ chọn một số nhất định thôi.
Dạ rồi em hiểu rồi.
Để xem là cái hệ thống em có nhúng được vào không, hoặc nếu không thì em sẽ nghiên cứu xem có cách nào để xử lý được cái đấy. Thì chắc là em cũng sẽ cần nhìn qua cái hệ thống bên chị xem nó là nó chạy như nào, thì bên kỹ thuật hai bên sẽ hợp tác với nhau để
dạ rồi. Dạ rồi, vậy thì bây giờ chắc mời bác ha. Bác ơi, em nghe câu hỏi của bên chị đúng không? Chắc giờ bác trả lời anh.
Ok, thì câu trả lời ngắn gọn mà em có thể đưa ra là hoàn toàn có thể lắp vào được cái hệ thống hiện tại của bên mình, bởi vì là cái đầu sản phẩm bên em ấy, nó được thiết kế dưới một dạng mà gần như tất cả các cái web app hay là bất kỳ một cái gì mà có kết nối internet đều có thể gọi được. Thì trong trường hợp của bên mình ấy, thì hiện tại mọi người đang gửi link video, thì bên em mọi người có thể, bên kỹ thuật bên trường có thể xử lý cái video hay là bất kỳ một kiểu audio từ bất kỳ nguồn nào, và bọn em sẽ có một đường link để bên kỹ thuật bên chị có một đoạn và gửi cái audio đến một cái URL đến một cái đường link đấy, và kết quả sẽ được trả về tương ứng với cái audio được gửi, và như thế nó hoạt động exact như thế trong tất cả mọi trường hợp. Thì em nghĩ là không có vấn đề gì ở đây về mặt kỹ thuật.
Cơ bản là được.
Dạ vâng, câu hỏi tôi trả lời ngắn gọn là không khó cả.
Cần nhìn vào hệ thống cụ thể.
Chị hỏi này, đấy là audio, chứ còn video thì sao?
Video thì thực ra nó có hai kênh là kênh audio và kênh video. Để tách cái đấy ra thì là hoàn toàn bình thường. Nghĩa là ở trong trường hợp này mình đang test tiếng Anh thì gần như là mình không quan tâm đến video, thì mình có thể lọc audio ra khá là dễ.
Bọn chị đang là cho sinh viên học online cái phần đấy, cho nên bắt buộc sinh viên phải là ý là nó không cheating, không có sự.
Em hiểu.
Đấy.
Dạ vâng, em hiểu, nhưng mà thì thực ra chia cái nhiệm vụ của hai bên là thế này. Ở bên trường muốn chắc chắn là sinh viên không cheat và phải có video, nhưng mà đấy một cái đấy là cái bọn em không cần phải động vào. Có nghĩa là bên trường có video là ok rồi, thì tách cái audio cái âm thanh ra khỏi cái video đấy và gửi cho bọn em. Thì cái việc đấy nó là một việc cực kỳ đơn giản, nghĩa là một dòng lệnh là cái audio nó sẽ tách ra gửi.
Người ta hay recording sao thôi, tức là ghi bài âm thanh thôi, thì là ghi audio thôi thì tốt hơn và chấm cảm giác là dễ hơn, rất là tự động á. Nhưng mà vì cái phần kia của chị là đấy lại muốn là để sinh viên không nhờ người khác nói mà tự nói.
Em hiểu. Thì cái phần đấy hoàn toàn là đơn giản về mặt kỹ thuật, mình có thể thao túng video và audio khá là dễ dàng.
Dạ rồi, dạ tức là cái hệ thống của tụi em á, tức là sẽ giải quyết được cái câu hỏi của chị, tức là sẽ có phần audio và video chung luôn.
Cơ bản là được.
Dạ được. Dạ, em mời thầy cô, có mình còn câu hỏi thì mình cứ đặt thoải mái cho bên em ạ.
Câu hỏi gì?
Dạ.
Chị thích rồi. Em thích ngay rồi. They said I asked if they have any idea and they say that they only like the idea. No comment. Yeah, they say yes. Yeah, this time we use IA to do the manual work. Yeah. I know that like at the moment the PT test use AI for all kind of marking, yeah, and to some extent it can like prevent all the cheating or something like that, yeah. So,
yeah, it's becoming very, very popular in the education space for sure.
Yeah, PTE, yeah. So we all know that the good point of the good things of AI is that it saves a lot of time working and workload for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was where, coming from my background as a teacher, that was the original idea behind the design of these products, was to build AI teachers that could have a really high quality language learning experience with students using the technology that we build. Back when I was teaching, I was being paid, $50, $60 an hour to teach a class, right? And I mean, that's quite expensive. There's only one of me. It's very difficult to access. So that's what we're building, is that a scalable, quality, affordable solution for students to learn English. So I'm glad that our use case is being well received. It's good to hear.
But my question is your system big enough for 30-something students?
Oh, yeah. So the system itself is scalable. The only thing that we would ask is that you don't launch 30,000 all at once, at 1 second. It just takes a bit of time.
Not at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. As long as there's a staggered release, it's absolutely fine.
So everything sounds good, yeah?
Dạ, không biết thì bên các anh chị kỹ thuật thì mình có câu hỏi gì để đặt cho bên phía em không ạ? Dạ, mời anh chị bên kỹ thuật á.
Không, bên mình khi nào làm trực tiếp mình sẽ hỏi cụ thể hơn.
Yeah. At the moment all sound good, and the thing is, like when we work together, we can see what problem there will be, and then we can work together to solve this. Yeah.
Về cơ bản nó có kết nối là được.
Dạ, về cơ bản thì bên em sẽ làm được hết tất cả những yêu cầu từ bên phía nhà trường. Thì cái phần còn lại là cái việc mà hợp tác giữa hai bên. Thì sau khi mà bàn cái việc hợp tác xong, nhà trường sẽ ký với bên em hợp đồng xong hết rồi, thì bên em sẽ on board cho trường. Thì hai team kỹ thuật sẽ ngồi lại với nhau, thì lúc đó sẽ có hỗ trợ lẫn nhau.
Thì ok nhá. Thì các bước tiếp theo thì chị có thể trực tiếp với em tiếp đúng không?
Dạ. Thì chị Hạnh có câu hỏi gì về việc hợp tác, Hạnh có thể hỏi luôn cũng được. Dạ, anh sẽ trả lời. Dạ.
Thì cái này thì chị sẽ lập một cái nhóm Zalo rồi chúng ta trao đổi trực tiếp với tất cả những cái đấy để mình sẽ làm tiếp các đến bước tiếp theo.
Dạ.
Có những phần hỏi liên quan đến hợp tác của ý kiến. Ok.
Dạ.
Dễ hơn. Hôm nay đang hỏi là để mua cho cả các thầy cô và các giáo viên cũng sẽ biết là như thế nào và ứng dụng được và phần của bên chị hay không.
Dạ
Ứng dụng được. Là một bước kế tiếp rồi.
Anh nói thử
dạ.
Em là anh nói sai cái từ đấy mô tả.
Dạ, tức là ngày hôm nay thì buổi gặp ngày hôm nay thì hai bên sẽ gặp nhau để biết được là mình sẽ tích hợp vào hệ thống như thế nào và ra sao. Thì còn cái phần mà discuss về cái việc mà hợp tác thì em với chị Hạnh sẽ bàn với nhau, rồi bên mình sẽ gửi email qua lại. Nếu mà chị cần support gì từ bên em thì em sẽ cung cấp cho chị, dạ, cũng như là những thắc mắc của quý thầy cô, rồi mình sẽ tiến hành được sớm hơn. Dạ.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
We will talk about the use of your programs, your software to assess our student speaking speeches, and then that is for assessment. And we, as Nicholas have illustrated, we can also use it for like assessing student practice, right? Like sentence by sentence, like you have done.
Yeah.
The scripted,
exactly.
unscripted spoken English, right?
Yeah, exactly. So with the two different activity types, one is you read the sentence. Here's the sentence. You run through. They submit the response. Now, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can give them the result in real time, so they speak and get the result. or they go through maybe 5 or 6 activities or a chapter, and then they get the result for everything there. There's a few different ways to do that. And then with the unscripted, you simply have an open-ended question, and they answer the open-ended question. So you have the different activity type there.
Yeah. So like for the scripted one, I think it's very clearly and easy, but like for the unscripted one, the result will be still reliable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I talk about this because like if this can be done, our student will be able to improve their speaking more than just through the assessment task.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if a student is lower proficiency, so they're an earlier learner with English or the English isn't so good, you can start them just on that scripted product, and then you can move them to a combination of both, some simple unscripted questions, and then as they improve, you can move them onto the unscripted questions only, for example. So you can sort of move through the tiers as you move. Maybe A1 and A2 is unscripted, A2 to B1, B2 is both scripted and unscripted, but maybe C1, C2 or more advanced learners is your unscripted only responses.
Mm-hmm. The criteria of contains, because our program is EOP, it means the English for occupational purpose, and maybe the level of the student may be beyond the A2 or the A1, because in general, maybe it's higher than A1 and A2 in general, because they use a lot of the vocabularies in the career. And so what about the criteria for the content? I also worry about that. The criteria to assess the content.
Like our program at the moment is EOP, English for Occupational English purposes. So most all the unit on occupational oriented. Yeah, so like not general English. So she just asked about the marking of the content related, something like that. Not only fluency or.
Yeah, exactly. So what we've done with the partnership with Oxford is we have integrated the Oxford Dictionary into the UK and the US versions. And I'll double check with Swan as well in terms of the number of words that we cover in these dictionaries. But as I understand, it's about 250,000 per accent. So it's about 250,000 words that are covered for both the US and the UK accent. And if a word doesn't exist in those dictionaries, we actually have a secondary AI that listens to the word and figures out what the word is and can insert that into the string. So is that correct, Swan? Am I explaining that correctly?
Yes, exactly. So each dictionary has around 250,000 words in it that map from word to the phonemes for the pronunciation. And then if a word is not in the dictionary, we have our own custom model which will predict the pronunciation of that new word. And we can also easily add new words to the dictionary as well if they come up a lot.
Actually, that's even after 6 semesters, our students only be on level. So I don't really feel worry much about the difficult words. I mean, most of their words I think will be in the dictionary.
Yeah, agree. It would have to be a very small outlier. It may exist.
Maybe.
If it does happen, that small chance, then we do have that second AI that listens to the word and figures out what it is.
Any other questions from online participants?
Chị có quan điểm đấy các chị đi theo học có thể ví dụ như cái này thì sẽ ví dụ như thế này thì sẽ
chấm thành vì có việc con mắt nó không thành thì khó lắm.
for IELTS assessment from the system, you use the criteria by IELTS deadline. For our, if we want to customize the criteria, will that be okay or not?
I mean, we try and avoid building projects, but it's something we can explore. Do you have any more details for me on what that might look like? Would you want just some feedback on different criteria or for a different framework like PTE, or how would that look?
I just want to input. So right now we output the raw IELTS scores, but in the future we will also be outputting the raw underlying metrics which determine those scores. So for example, for fluency, we'll be returning metrics like rate of speech, number of pauses, pause rate, repetitions, and same for pronunciation, number of pronunciation mistakes, grammar, number of grammar mistakes. So at a later stage, when all those metrics are present, we could definitely work with you together to use those raw metrics and then maybe build an overall score that suits more specifically your needs.
Yeah, that's just a question. But basically, we know that speaking marking criteria are mostly the main four things, like fluency, pronunciation, accuracy, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we can do is work in a partnership and have this as an open payment, an open conversation, and work on this together. If there's some feedback that you have, we're definitely open to listening to that and adding features or altering products to suit our market and customers.
You need to focus more about because our EOP program has so many different students of different subject. We have a student of IT, student of electrical engineer, student of automobile engineering, student of government, student of tourism.
Dạ chị Hạnh, hình như là bên bạn của bên phía chị Hạnh nó hơi bị giật, em không nghe rõ câu hỏi. Chị Hạnh giúp em câu hỏi của anh.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. That is our student, our program are occupational oriented, and at the moment we have 8 programs like IT, engineering, mechanical engineering, and different. So 8 altogether. The teacher here may be a bit wonder if like the marking of different major like that is okay or not.
Yeah, for sure. So our AI has been trained on those hundreds of thousands of words. So marking of different content is not a problem.
Yep, I got it.
Dạ. Chị Hạnh, với là quý thầy cô như thế này là bên AI, tức là một cái công nghệ nó sẽ phụng sống toàn bộ cái khía cạnh của về cái phần mà như thầy cô bên này mình bàn á. Thật ra về cái phần mà gọi là thuật ngữ chuyên ngành, thầy cô đang quan tâm là thuật ngữ chuyên ngành, ví dụ như là ngành cơ khí, ngành điện, ngành kinh doanh vân, thì nó cũng sẽ gói gọn ở trong cái phần là tụi em đang partner với là Oxford University Press về cái quyển từ điển á, thì nó sẽ chấm trên khía cạnh về ngôn ngữ là về phát âm, về cái phần như những cái phần mà nãy giờ mình bàn. Còn về cái thầy cô đang nghĩ tới đó chính là cái ý nghĩa, thì mấy em nghĩ là về ý nghĩa thuật ngữ chuyên ngành thì nó sẽ không chấm cái phần ý nghĩa, mà cái kiểu nó sẽ chấm phần chủ yếu là những khía cạnh của ngôn ngữ, tức là em đó ông dùng cái từ đó, cái ngôn ngữ đó có giống cái bản xứ về cái mặt về cái phần phát âm hay không, hay là về cái tốc độ nói hay không, về phần grammar giống bao nhiêu, về phần từ vựng là bao nhiêu. đó thì em nghĩ là nó sẽ cover hết được các khía cạnh đó, nên là thầy cô cứ yên tâm. Và chắc chắn học sinh không thể nào nói hết được quá nhiêu đó từ, tức là hơn một quyển từ điển được, nên là thầy cô cứ yên tâm là các em nó sẽ gói gọn trong đó. Về cái level của mấy em đó thì em tính đâu đó ở một trường đại học, như kinh nghiệm của em thì mấy em nó vượt qua được B1 cũng là may mắn lắm rồi. Cái đạt đến được B2 với C1 thì tỷ lệ nó chiếm đâu đó cỡ 10% trong phía trường đại học. Theo kinh nghiệm của em làm việc với hơn 100 trường thì là cái tỷ lệ nó rất là thấp, nên là thầy cô cứ yên tâm sẽ cover được hết tới được B1
nói
B2.
là chỉ đến B1 thì cái phần từ chị cũng không quá lo đâu.
Dạ, tức là tùy theo mỗi cái level mà thầy cô quy định. Ví dụ như là đầu ra của mấy em kia không chuyên ở ngoài phía Bắc thì là B1, ví dụ vậy. Trong Nam của em thì là A2 thôi, ví dụ như vậy. Hoặc là B2 thì em nghĩ là sẽ cover được hết, không sao rồi.
Con hết câu hỏi rồi đấy chị ạ.
Dạ. Dạ, okay. Thanks, Miss Hạnh. And dạ, cô còn câu hỏi gì không?
Ok, chị hết câu hỏi rồi chị ạ. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Lovely
yeah.
to meet you all, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, and see you, Miss Han. I will chat with you more in yellow, and if you have any questions so far, you can put the question to me, and I will answer you, and we can discuss more about how to cooperation between the two university and LC. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. We do hope.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Come on. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Kiểu đọc mãi không đúng được một từ để mà chuyển sang cái khác.